oil spill. Dick Morris says he knows, and the answer goes way back. Joining us live is Dick Morris, author of the book 2010 Take Back America, A Battle Plan. Nice to see you, Dick.
Good. And by the way, that book would be a wonderful Father's Day present because it would give your dad some hope.
And I heard you and Bill O'Reilly discussing that the other night. So, you know, point well taken. All right. So you in looking at this oil leak, of course, everyone, you know, we're all looking at Transocean, Halliburton, and BP. I mean, those are the primary culprits, or at least the. But you take this back a little bit further to the past two presidential administrations, do you not?
Yeah, we have to ask the question, and I was curious, what kindled the decision to permit this drilling in these deep, deep waters? What was the go-ahead that really catalyzed all that drilling? And in 1995, President Clinton signed the Outer Continental Shelf Deep Water Drilling Royalty Relief Act of 1995. That's kind of a mouthful, but that's what they called it. And the problem was that at that time, oil companies were not drilling in deep waters. They were only producing 34 million barrels a year of oil from deep waters in the Gulf, a tiny amount of oil. And the oil state senators wanted to catalyze that production, and the Clinton administration agreed with them. And they passed a law which said that if you drill in the Outer Continental Shelf, in the deep waters, we will exempt you from having to pay royalty payments to the government on the oil that you recover. And normally royalty payments are 16% of oil revenues, so that was a pretty hefty exemption. And as a result of that catalyst, the amount of oil that's been generated by deep sea wells in the Gulf of Mexico rose tenfold, from 34 million barrels a year to 340 million barrels a year, which, by the way, works out to about 6% of America's total oil needs and about 12 or 14% of our total domestic production. So it was a huge increase. Now, I have to tell you that I supported that bill, Greta. I urged him to sign it and worked on trying to pass it. But the problem is that
let me just say one thing, is that it's sort of interesting because that bill then was renewed. It was for a period of time, renewed again in the year 2000. But if you look at sort of the structural design of this entire deep water drilling, you've got the added problem is that the MMS, which was in charge of trying to push to get as much revenue into the government, they were hustling and pushing and pushing and pushing. While at the same time, they're trying to get more drilling to get more money. They've also got the job to make sure that this is done safely. So structurally, even how we did it was profoundly, you know, if you're practicing the law like that, you'd be disbarred.
And because there were no royalties being paid on the deep water drills, the government was loath to commit resources to overseeing them because there was no payback from it. And the problem is that they went helter-skelter and hell-bent into drilling in this deep water. And nobody sat there to say, hey, wait a minute, we don't have plans to deal with an oil spill or an explosion. We don't know how to deal with that in the deep water stuff. It's in sharp contrast to, for example, nuclear power, where before you could build a nuclear plant, there were all kinds of fail-safes and tests and all kinds of procedures for every possible eventuality that could go wrong. Here in the Gulf, it was basically like the Wild West, a tenfold increase in production within 8 years.
Isn't it just basically, I don't want to be too crass, but it's almost like greed. If you drilled in shallower waters, you had to pay the royalty. If you went to the deeper waters where we were not prepared to deal with a catastrophe, you didn't pay the royalties. So it's a question is, you want to get rich or not? You know, the companies can make a lot more money doing it in the deeper.
It's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. That absolutely is true. But the point is that when we did this, when we had them drill, we had no idea how to deal with the consequences. And that was Clinton's fault, it was Bush's fault, and it was Obama's fault. But the initial decision to go charge ahead without any safety stuff was made by Clinton. It's so interesting, the financial crisis we've got, you can trace back to the decision of the Clinton administration to tell HUD to go all the way out in doing subprime mortgages. And this you can trace to Interior doing the drilling.
But I fundamentally, talk about the people. I mean, just because you can do something doesn't mean you have to do it, and just because you can drill deeply, it doesn't mean that you do it unsafely. And
by the way, I have a whole article.
And I'm taking the last word on that. But what's the name of that new book for Father's Day?
It's 2010.